Hi everybody, welcome to Reality Buzz TV. So listen, you guys, I came across this show. I wasn't even aware that it was coming on Showmax. Is Married at First Sight Mzansi. Listen, I thought we had had the first season of Married at First Sight in South Africa a long time ago. I just never watched it. Okay, so I was shocked by the fact that how is it still season one? Okay, maybe I'm confusing it with another show. I used to watch the was it the Australian version of the show, where they would do so many couples, but the way that they would do that show, it would be so toxic that every season they would make sure that one lady that is married to someone else cheats with someone else who's married to, there was always that scandal, and it just got so toxic, and it wasn't watchable anymore. So I think when they do too many couples, there is a risk, because now and then the couples are mixing, and a person might think, hey, actually I should have been matched with this person instead of that, and that's when the cheating comes in. And so here they're doing four couples, okay, for ladies, for gentlemen. The experts are the one that match them, and you don't meet your husband or your wife until at the altar, honey, when the officiator is already standing there rushing to marry you, so that he can rush off and go marry other people, because this is business for him. Okay, so it's a crazy show, you guys. The concept is crazy. However, if they don't match you with the correct person, all is not lost, even though you do actually get married. All is not lost, because at the end of the show you get to choose if you want to marry this person or you would like to get a divorce from a person. Okay, but they do real marriage. You have to stay together for the duration of the experiment. Okay, so now the four ladies are Ditwanelo, Zitobile, Boitepo, and Makumo. Four ladies. And then the four giants, it's Tabang, it's Tami, it's Kuto, and Sebenzile. And you guys, the first couple that I'm going to talk about is Kuzo and Ditwanelo, because they are the first that got matched. Let me tell you what happened. They introduced us to the ladies first, okay? And Ditwanelo is very outspoken, you guys. So out of all the ladies, she's the one that was speaking more, and she told a lot about herself. So she's like, listen, I'm a strong personality, and so in relationships I have been called a bully, and the way that she was talking, it's like her mouth has gotten her into trouble. Okay, she says she has been ghosted a lot. Okay, when a guy goes on a date or two with you and then they disappear and never call you again, and they don't even have a decency to tell you what went wrong. She said she has been ghosted a lot, and you guys, she has a toddler with someone else. Obviously that relationship didn't work out. We don't know if it was the same situation where she's saying that she becomes a bully, or the partners think that she's a bully in relationship. Obviously she says that because she has a child, that is the priority. If a guy doesn't like her child, then that is over, you guys. Then she says something interesting, you guys, that even though she wants to get married, but she wishes that she could have a situation where they can sleep in separate parts of the house with her husband. Okay, so now when they are introducing Kuso, you guys, before we even met the experts, I was like, they are going to match this poor guy to Ditwanel. And it's not like I don't like Ditwanel, because she's a beautiful girl, very articulate. She's a professional chef, honey, studying LLB. Okay, so she's got her stuff together. But when I was listening to Kuto describing himself and describing his experience in life and what he wants right now, I was like, this is not a guy for Titswanelo, but I know that these experts are going to merge her with. I was like, oh, Kosiam, I wanted to go and save him, because I was like, this is not gonna work. Kuto is a very quiet guy. Like when you look at him, you feel like he never opens his mouth. He's just never gonna speak. He even says it himself that sometimes people think that he's very quiet, but he's not. Once he's used to you, he talks. He says he grew up in a very strict home, one of those homes where the gate is locked up at 6 p.m. So he didn't really do much when he was growing up, you guys. Then he talks about the experience of he's been in a few relationships, and what happens with him is that in one relationship, for an example, they had complained that he wasn't showing any emotions. And looking at him, I was like, I can see that, okay? I can see how they would say that. So he says then, okay, fine, that relationship ends. He goes to the next relationship. He's like, listen, in this relationship, I'm going to show my emotions. Guess what happened? Then the person broke up with him because he was showing too much emotions, okay? Emjolweni, guys, listen, ayikho imephu emjolweni nje uyasibonela nje uthuthu uyalungisa kanti uyahliphiza kulungi, yabo leyo umjolo nje unjalo, guys. So now he says the last relationship, and the way that I figured out, even though he didn't say it was with the baby mom, because he says the person that he was in a relationship with thought he was the greatest person that she has ever met. She thought that he was a great father because he also has a toddler. But he just don't understand that with all of that, because she would say that he is a great person, she cheated. And the way I understand it, when it was time for this woman to choose between him and this man, she chose another man. Okay, so he was really broken by that because he was cheated on. Now he's like, let me give it to the expert to find somebody for me. Now here's the thing, you guys, okay? With Ditswanelo, she says, listen, if a guy has kids, even better, because it means that if he has kids, then we don't even have to have kids, because it's not like I want more kids. But Kuto says very, very clearly, listen, I want more kids. They say, well, how many? Say, I don't know, 3 or 4 kids. I want more kids. They're like, okay, when do you want to start having kids? She's like, listen, if I find a person today, tomorrow, we are starting to make the babies. I'm not an expert, but Kuto is not for Ditswanelo. Even I know that, okay? I know that, okay? Because number one, she's going to put him into sleeping at a separate wing of the house, depending if the house is big enough for them to, go at separate wings. Number one, she's going to do that. Number two, she's not going to give him the 3, 4 kids that he wants. Oh, guess what happened? The experts come, guys. There's a pastor, psychologist, marriage and family therapist, all of them put together. I think there's like 4 of them. They sit and they look at the videos. They're like, perfect. They match Kuto, not Ditswanelo. I'm like, oh, I'm a poor guy. Yo, he is about to have a very interesting couple of months, okay? Because, hi, Bo. I was like, the reason that they gave was that she has a child and he has a child. I'm like, that's not the thing that makes you think this relationship is gonna work. That's the only thing. They're like, oh, nomtwana now, nomtwana. So match. They got married. So they're meeting at the altar, you guys. Quite honestly, they were both impressed because, guys, listen, Ditswanelo is a beautiful girl. I don't know if there's a guy out there who will be seeing her in a wedding dress and think, no, this is not for me. She's a beautiful girl. And also, Kuzo is a handsome young man, okay? So they look like a perfect match. And they do the vows, you guys. Even when they were doing the vows, Ditswanelo was not happy with the vows, okay? So I was like, here's what I was talking about, okay? She says the vows Kuto were more about him than it was about what he was promising her. He was trying to tell her what he's willing to do and what he's not willing to do. Kuto had said that, listen, he's a guy that helps out in the house. The only thing that he cannot do is cook. So if he can find a woman who can cook, he can do everything else, okay? I was like, I can definitely take that deal. Would you do the laundry? Would you clean the house? Would you change the baby's nappies? Would you clean the bathroom? I'm cooking, okay? I was like, that is the best deal I've ever had from a man, okay? Cook every day. I'll cook breakfast and supper. If you can take over the rest of the stuff. But listen, you guys, I don't know. In the vows, you guys, I understand because you're meeting this person for the first time. So this is the first communication you are having with your partner is the vows. At the same time, it's sort of like in your vows, you want to incorporate who you are so that they know a little bit about you before they say I do. So I think that's what Kuto was trying to do with the vows, and they ended up sounding like he's telling a story of the things that he's not gonna do in his marriage. And I understood why Ditswanelo felt like, lama vows lawa ngiwezwa kahle, okay? And but her vows were beautiful and all of that. They get married, they go and they speak separately. You guys, listen, in my mind, I think that in fact it's not in my mind, it's in everything in me. Everything in me believes that marriage is not gonna work. But when they were sitting down, they were talking about the fact that they both have babies, and she asked to go to the birthday of the child, and Kuto said, I think he said the 10th of March, and it just so happened that it's the Twanelo's birthday. So I was like, hey, maybe bahlanganiswa amadlozi, but I don't see it working. It was a nice coincidence, though, you guys, to, his baby shares a birthday with her. Okay, so he was like, you know what, this is great. So now when I plan a birthday, I'm going to be planning a birthday for my wife and my child. That's how sweet Kuto is. But they have given him the Twanelo. I love my experts, guys. I really feel like with the experts, they should have. Or let me say this: I would be comfortable with the experts if they had somebody that says, "Listen, I am in the business of matching people." Okay, it's one thing to cancel a married couple. They're already married. You don't even know how they met, how they were matched, and you might cancel a couple and they can still divorce under your canceling. Okay, but I wish that there was somebody that said, "Listen, I'm in the business of matching people. I have 50 couples right now that are married, and I match them. That's how good I am." I will feel a little bit better about that. But these experts right here, I was like, you are experts in whatever it is that you do, but none of you are matching people. So how are you? Just one person. They are all needed, but we are missing one person, a person that has experience in matching people. And we saw it right here. I was like, ooh. Listen, you guys, I'm looking forward to Kuto and Titswanelo proving me wrong, because I really do want them both to be in a happy marriage. But if I'm honest, I don't see it happening. Anyway, you guys, that's all I want to talk about in this video. Please like the video before Pumegona, share it with your friends, with your family, and even with strangers. Minitanda. Cool.